Hey everyone and welcome back. It's been a little while since my last video, but I'm so happy to be back, and today's video feels like the perfect way to continue where we left off. Back in spring, we were busy preparing the garden and starting all of our seeds, and today I will finally show you how everything has grown over the past few months. We will take a look around the garden, look at the vegetable garden, flower borders, and later in the video I will also share a few beautiful dahlias that I recently picked up, as well as a closer look at our pond and fish. So let's get started. Let's start with a little tour of the garden. I will show you around and begin at the entrance. Here at the entrance to the garden I have these beautiful blue lobelias growing. I had them here last year as well and I loved them so much that I went back to the garden center to get them again this year. At the front of the garden I also have my first raised bed, and this is also the first thing I see when I look out of the window in the kitchen. I have a variety of different vegetables growing here and also some flowers. You can see some carrots over here, and I'm also trying to regrow some celery that I got from the store. And I also have a very large sunflower growing here. I'm very curious to see how tall it will grow this year. Here I have some Indian grass. In the corner here I also have a pepper plant. And here I have some herbs in pots. Hanging on the wall here are some petunias. And in this part of the garden there always is a lot of shade, so we have some ferns and hostas growing here. I love the different shades of green and it always stays cool here, even on warm summer days. Let's move on to the next part of the garden. Over here I have a few more raised garden beds. This is where I grow most of my tomatoes and cucumbers, along with a variety of other vegetables and some companion flowers. This is one of my favorite parts of the garden because everything grows so quickly at this time of year. Let's take a closer look at everything growing here. This lettuce is starting to bolt, so I'll be removing it soon because the leaves will turn bitter. Over here I have some beets growing. And here I have my bush tomatoes. As you can see, small tomatoes are already starting to form, and I'm very excited to harvest some of my first tomatoes this year. Here I have some marigolds growing. They are very beautiful and they also attract pollinators, and they help to protect my plants against pests. Here we have more carrots. It looks like they are almost ready to be harvested. And over here I have some cucumbers growing and also a pumpkin in the back. I will give you a closer look in a minute. But first let's move on to the tomatoes. Here I have some of my taller tomatoes growing. And here this was supposed to be a broccoli, but I don't think there's going to be much broccoli. And I have some more marigold growing here and some basil. And I also have some calendula, again a great companion flower. Here I have red cherry tomatoes and a Roma tomato. It is my first time growing Roma tomatoes and I was kind of surprised to see how bushy this variety was growing. And these are yellow cherry tomatoes. And here I have some scarlet kale growing. This is definitely one of my new favorites. It's so easy to grow and it doesn't attract a lot of pests. Here is my pumpkin plant. This flower was just closing up. And I'm sorry the camera is losing focus. As you can see, it's already reached the top of the trellis. So it's doing very well. And over here I have my cucumbers. Try to give you a closer look. This is a fast growing variety, and again I find this one so easy to grow. Now that we've taken a look at the vegetable garden, let's move on to the flower borders. We will start here. I planted lots of flowers in this border to attract bees, butterflies and other pollinators because I love seeing them around the garden and I wanted to provide a little haven for them. Here I've planted a few new white acastache plants. I had them growing here before, but unfortunately not all of them survived the winter, so I decided to replace them. On the other side of the pond we have another flower border. Last week I gave most of the plants a good trim to encourage a second flush of blooms, so it might look a little bare at the moment. And I'm still not completely happy with how this border looks, and I'm thinking about making a few changes. I would love to add more dahlias to the garden, so I think this would be the perfect place for them. I will show you those a little later in the video, but first I would like to show you a short clip from last month so that you can see what this border looked like before I cut everything back. Here's the clip of the garden from last month. This is also a lovely moment to see just how quickly everything has grown. Looking back at this now, it's truly amazing to see how much everything has changed in such a short amount of time, including the vegetable garden. It also made me realize that there's always a new highlight in the garden. There's always something else blooming or something new to discover, and it also made me realize that the garden is never perfect. There's always some work in progress or some weeds popping up somewhere. Maybe if you also love gardening you can relate, but yeah, that's how things go in the garden. As you can see, the plants behind the pond are also quite affected by powdery mildew, the phloxes, and this has been a reoccurring problem that I haven't really found a natural solution for yet. So now let's move on to the back of the garden. And here we have our pond. At the end of the video I will give you more of a close-up and I'll also show you the fish. But first let me show you the rest of the garden. Here in the back I have some more vegetables growing. I have some zucchinis here, and I also had some potatoes growing here, and I just harvested them, so I thought it would be fun to show you. So here's a little clip of the potatoes that I harvested. This is everything I harvested. I think it's a pretty good harvest for such a small amount of space. There were a lot of smaller potatoes, but that's fine, they taste just as good. Here's the back part of the border. Not a lot of flowers in here at the moment, but I have plans to change that. And over here I have a bell pepper in a pot. I'm very curious to see how this will grow. I planted some seeds from some bell peppers I got from the supermarket, so I'm not sure how they are gonna look, so I'm excited to see that. And here I have some dahlias in pots. Also excited to see those. Talking about dahlias, I promised to show you some of the new dahlias that I got. And I know it is a little late to plant dahlias, but I was at the garden center last week and these were on sale for just €1 each. So that was a great deal and I couldn't resist getting some of them. And I know these at the bottom are not dahlias, but these are some other bulbs that I got. I am pretty excited for these as well. These are ixias. And I also got some garlic and onions on sale. So what I'm going to do with the dahlias is even though it's a little bit late, I'm still going to plant them in the garden, because if I don't do that, the bulbs will not survive till next year. And maybe they might not give as much blooms because it's a little later in the year, but this way the bulbs can survive, and in fall I can dig the bulbs up and store them away for next year. And I just realized I said bulbs, not tubers. I know dahlias are tubers, but I'm pretty sure you know what I mean. And while I was talking, you could see some clips in the background where I am planting all of my dahlias and ixias. I wanted to change this part of the border for a while now, so this was my chance to do that and add some more color. And also behind the pond here I wanted to change some things, so I decided to plant some dahlias in here as well. As you can see, the tubers already have some new growth on them, so I'm pretty sure that they will do well. And lastly, I'm going to plant these pink dahlias over here in the corner. There is already a white dahlia growing in the middle, but I'm pretty sure these will look great together, so I'm going to give them a little spot over here. And as promised, to finish this video, I'm going to show you a little close-up of the pond. I've removed the covering so that you can see it better. I think the fish are a little bit camera shy at the moment, so normally when they see me they come right up. because they know that they are going to get food. So let's give them some food right now so that you can see them better. We have a different goldfish in here. We have the regular goldfish, we have the sarasas, and we have also the blue ones, the shubunkins. I really love goldfish, especially the ones with the long tails. They look so elegant and beautiful. And I always love to just relax, sit by the pond and watch the fish. That's it for this video. I'm really looking forward to sharing more summer videos the next few months. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.